In this video, I'm going to talk about the number one issue I see beginners face when they try to delegate tasks from their business. I'm Scotty and I've been running online businesses now for almost 4 years, more and more successfully as the years go by, and I've learned a few lessons along the way, and this is one of the key ones I've picked up just in the past year, so I wanted to share this with you. So, when it comes to delegation and removing yourself from the day-to-day work in your business, there's a few key mistakes that I see people make. And in this video, I'm just going to talk about the most important one, and that is removing yourself or trying to delegate work before you've built up enough leverage in your business. I made this mistake myself. I was building niche sites, little affiliate websites, rank in Google, get some traffic, make affiliate sales. Really simple business model. And the reason it works is because, or the reason it worked for me back then was because I built up the skill or the skills of doing keyword research, finding good keywords I could rank for and that I could make money off of with affiliate programs. That's the first skill. The second skill is writing really good, solid articles. That's really all I did. I didn't do much SEO work outside of keyword research. Those were the two skills I had. What I then tried to do to scale this business and take it from like a one-man shop doing 3 or 5 grand a month profit, I tried to scale this by bringing on writers and keyword researchers. This was a giant failure, and here's why. I didn't know this at the time, but I do now. I didn't have enough leverage. These were tiny little affiliate niche sites that anyone basically could throw up and build themselves if they had the skills of keyword research and writing articles. Those are the only 2 skills you needed to do this. And I had those skills, but the people I hired didn't necessarily. And it's very hard to hire people who can do keyword research on my level and who can write articles on my level, because somebody who has the skills to write articles on the level that I needed them, they could just build their own sites. There was nothing stopping a writer just building their own sites instead of working for me to build my sites. I had no leverage in that sense. Whereas if you've got a big business, say you've got an email list with 100,000 people that you've built up over 10 years of speaking, posting on social media, doing paid ads, you've got this massive list, that's leverage. You can then hire a copywriter to write emails for you. That copywriter will make so much more sales selling for you than he ever could selling his own stuff. And that's how you can make money off someone else's skill, because you've got leverage. Say you give the copywriter 10% of profits or 10% of revenue, whatever. That 10% is still way more than he could make selling his own stuff, because you've got a 100,000 person email list, whereas he probably has 500, 1,000, a couple thousand at most. So you've got that leverage built up because you've got an existing business that's profitable, that has website traffic, that has email lists, Facebook likes, Facebook pages, all that. You've got leverage in the business because you've got eyeballs on you, you've got attention, you've got traffic. That is leverage in online business. Whereas that little niche site business I told you about, I didn't have any leverage because I was trying to build new sites and outsource all the work, and it never worked. What I had some limited success with was when I was doing the keyword research myself and outsourcing the writing. That kind of worked because writers are easier to find than good keyword researchers. Good keyword researchers, at least for niche sites, are impossible to find in my opinion, because anyone who can do that, anyone who has that skill to the level that I needed, in the way that I needed, it's a very specific type of keyword research as well, which I'll not get into here. But the point is, anyone that has that skill could just go and do it themselves. And anyone that I teach that skill could immediately leave me and go do it themselves. There's no leverage in the business. There's nothing stopping somebody who I hire and train to just leave me and go do it themselves. There's no moat around your business. And the more moats you have around your business, the more you can afford to invest in hiring good people and training good people. Take, for example, now my Facebook ads agency, where we're hiring quite a few people now locally in the US, the Philippines. We're hiring all over the world. And the reason it works is because we've got leverage. We've got leverage because we've got one partner, who's my Facebook ads partner, who is just very, very high level with Facebook ads. You can't just get to his level quickly. It'll take you years to get to that level. It'll take you hundreds of thousands of dollars in ad spend to get to his level. It'll take you like thousands and thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars of courses, of training to get to his level. You can't do that quickly. People who we train, they'll be fine working under his guidance with his directions, but they're not on his level, and they're not going to be on his level for quite some time. So that's the first way we've got leverage. We've got a Facebook ads partner who's just way higher level than almost anyone on the whole planet. That's the first way we have leverage. Second way we have leverage is through me, through my copywriting experience, through my direct response experience. I can train people to write good copy. I can help people build better stores on Shopify. I can help people optimize their stores. Not only that, I also bring traffic. We talked about traffic before as a form of leverage. I've got my Twitter account, I've got YouTube, I've got an email list. I can bring us qualified leads that we don't even have to do cold outreach. For my Facebook ads agency, we haven't done any cold outreach yet. We don't need to go on LinkedIn and spam people with cold messages. We don't need to cold email stores because we've got people coming to us wanting us to run their ads simply because they know me and my personal brand. Again, that's massive leverage. If you're a newcomer to this industry or you're one of our employees, you can't just go out and create that overnight. My personal brand took a year to build, but it was in progress and it was built based on my experiences that I built up in the past 4 years. So really, this is the culmination of 4 years of experience, 4 years of working online, 4 years of trying different business models, 4 years of learning new skills that now allow me to have this form of leverage that other people can't just replicate. And even though there's no real barriers to entry, there's no real moat around building a Facebook ads agency. I mean, if you look on Instagram, just about everyone's got SMMA or social media marketing agency in their bio. But creating a real agency, meaning an agency with clients, not just an agency where you put in your Instagram bio. Creating a real agency, it does have some barriers to entry simply because you need the knowledge, you need the clients, you need to have the processes, you need to know how to hire. There's a lot of things that go into it, especially if you want to do it properly, that will stop beginners from simply creating their own agency. Take our employees, for example, including even my partner, honestly. None of us could start our agency on our own. I couldn't do it without my partner because my Facebook ads knowledge is nowhere near his level, and he couldn't do it without me because his copywriting isn't as good as mine. He couldn't do it without me because he doesn't have the traffic source, he doesn't have the personal brand. Again, we complement each other. Talking about our employees, none of them could start a Facebook ads agency because they don't have the skills at his level, they don't have the personal brand at my level, they don't have the copy skills at my level. They're still in training, they're learning, they're getting better. They can run ads for clients, but they couldn't run the entire company. And they won't be able to do that for quite some time. And the goal is, at least our goal is, to create an environment where we've got so much leverage, so much scale because we're working with big clients, that they have no reason to leave us and start their own thing. Because ideally, I want to pay people in my company more than they can make elsewhere. I want to pay them more than they can make on their own. That's really the goal with all my businesses. I want to pay people more money than they could earn working for themselves. And that's not necessarily easy to do, especially with people who want to work for themselves. Everyone wants to work for themselves, at least from my audience. And that's true, everyone wants to be like a businessman or entrepreneur. But if you can create a business where young, smart, dedicated people who are hardworking thrive, like an environment where those people make more money, have more fun, learn more stuff, learn more skills. If you can create that environment where they're better off working for you than they would be working for themselves, then I think you're just going to be so far ahead of the competition, who is sort of in a hire and fire trajectory, who has a lot of churn inside of their business. You're just going to be on a whole different level because you're going to get top level people. Take an example from the copywriting world, Agora. Agora Publishing, I believe the company is called. They are the absolute kings of direct response marketing. And they can get top level copywriters who want to work for them, who want to learn the skills from them, who want to make big bucks. And if you're a good copywriter at Agora, and that's where a lot of the best copywriters work, then you're going to make the big bucks. You don't need to go out and become a freelancer and make $1,000 a month in Thailand. You can work at Agora and make 6 figures in the US. That's the kind of leverage I want to build up, where people just are better off working for me than they would be as freelancers. If you can do that in your business, then you're going to be highly, highly successful. Kind of got a little off track there with my rant about building my Facebook agency and how we're managing the employees there, but I just want to wrap this up quickly and get back to the original point of the video, which is the mistake people make when hiring and delegating tasks from their business. The mistake is hiring and delegating too early when you don't have any leverage. Talked about how I have leverage in my Facebook ads agency to bring on people and allow them to thrive, whereas I didn't have leverage or didn't have enough leverage back in my niche site days, where I was basically trying to outsource all the important tasks from the business and give it to someone else who can't possibly be good enough, because if they were good enough, then sooner or later they would simply leave and do it themselves. That's really all there is to it. You can't delegate too early. You can't delegate before you have valuable skills built up. You can't delegate before you have some form of leverage. Another point here, some people think they can start an online business, and instead of learning the skills, instead of learning how to run Facebook ads, instead of learning how to build stores, instead of learning how to write copy, these people think they can simply throw money at these problems and basically hire a copywriter, hire a Facebook ads team, hire a store builder, hire someone to pick products, hire someone to do everything. And they think that they can become insanely profitable by outsourcing or delegating everything. And that's simply not the case, because you have to have some form of leverage. Nobody is going to do all the work for you unless you pay them more than that work is worth. The reason why outsourcing a part of your business works is because if you've got a fantastic product and you've created this, you've made it really high quality, you've imported it to the US, you're working with a fulfillment center, you've already got clients, you've got a lookalike audience, and then you come to me wanting to work with my agency, then you've got leverage and we can help you make money and we'll take a cut for that. Whereas if you're just a random guy online who thinks dropshipping would be cool, but you don't want to do any of the work, then you come to me saying, build me a store, run the ads for me, pick the products, do everything. Why would I do that if I could just do that for myself? You've got no leverage, you've got no skills, no experience, you've got nothing built up of your own, and you're trying to outsource already. That only works when you have skills, when you have experience, when you have some sort of unique edge, something that gives me a reason to work with you. If I'm the person doing all of the work, all of it, then I'm only going to do that if I can't make more money doing it myself. Hope that makes sense. That's just sort of a little sub point. I get that message once or twice a year, not an often one, not a frequent message, but it is a strange one where people think they can just throw a bunch of money at problems and have them solve themselves, and that's really not how it works. You can only delegate tasks really effectively once you have either leverage built up or once you really know how to do it. If you know how to do something better than almost anyone else, then you can train people to do it for you. If you don't know anything and you have no leverage, you're just going to waste your money, you're not going to get a quality product, and you're also not going to be able to evaluate how good the work is you receive. How are you going to evaluate someone's copy if you don't know anything about direct response marketing? You can't, and that's why it doesn't work. So That's all for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel for more.